All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation, my name is Reid Nelson. This is Izzy and Reid. This is This Week in Rec, Championship Edition. We're here live from Bloomington South where the Open Championship is taking place right now. Bigsmash will raise the banner here in Bloomington South. A close game till the end. You watched the whole thing. You did play-by-play on the whole thing. What did you see?
I saw a very lazy Bigsmash in the first 30 minutes of that game. And then I saw a completely different Bigsmash in the last 14 minutes or so. And a lot of it, I think, was them had that game. Them would have won that game. Honestly, had Quentin Brown not been the point guard. Quentin Brown ignited the Bigsmash run. Turnover after turnover. I think he had 3 turnovers at one point in a row. Ended in a Glenn Fair layup from Twan Lynch, a 3 by Twan Lynch, and another 3 by Twan Lynch. All off of his turnovers. That was and at that point they were up 38-33. Then the table swung after that Twan Lynch 3 made it 41-38. And then them did not score for the next 8 minutes of that game. They went on a huge drought, and then Devin hits a 3 at the top of the key to it was a 27-3 run until the last 30 seconds where Devin hit another 3, and then they stole the inbound off of a turnover by one of the bench players that doesn't get to play that many minutes for Bigsmash, and then a layup. You know what I'm talking about. So 38 points with 13 minutes left, and then you don't score more than 3 points for the next 12 minutes. That is unbelievable. And it wasn't because Bigsmash's defense was really that good. It's the turnovers from them and really bad shot attempts from them.
Talk about them's defense, especially in the first half. It was extremely aggressive. They were playing, they almost play their zone 5 to 6 feet above the NBA three-point line, and it worked for them. When Bigsmash was able to penetrate into the lane, they missed a lot of layups, but they had a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, in the first half, Bigsmash probably missed 10 to 12 layups. Point-blank layups. Some of them were a little out of control, but they're still layups. And them were playing this really high zone, like you mentioned, and they were getting their hands on all the balls. Jordan Jensen was tipping a lot of passes, right? So that's kind of tough to talk over. So this is open basketball for you. This happens all the time. So Jordan was getting his hands on a lot of basketballs in that game. Then he subbed out, and they kind of dropped down a little bit. They weren't playing as high of a zone with Jordan out. Let Bigsmash get a little comfortable, but Bigsmash had 10 turnovers in the first half, and they were bad turnovers, really lazy turnovers, and the transition defense by Bigsmash was bad as well. So a lot of it was ignited by them. This whole game was decided by them. Them played hard-nosed defense, and they got the lead, and they held on to it, and they would have held on to it, but they disassembled like I've never seen a team do. I don't know if it was the pressure of the game or what, but that did not look like a top 2 team or top 10 team even in this league.
So let's shift a little bit towards Bigsmash. Aaron Wimsett had an opportunity to speak with Antoine Lynch, who has also won the MVP award tonight. So here is that interview with Mr. Antoine Lynch.
All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation. I'm here with MVP, Gold Cup champion, Antoine Lynch. After a struggle for you to get a cup, how does it finally feel?
Oh, it feels great, man. It feels great, man. Especially to come back to Bigsmash, man, and get a championship, man. I can't even explain how it feels, man. Get off me, great. It feels great.
So you guys were down by about 6 in the second half. You guys were turning the ball over. It was getting kind of ugly. You guys called a timeout. What was said in that timeout?
What was said in the timeout is just stop turning the ball over. You know what I mean? Swing the ball over. Swing the ball. Get into the middle of the zone and just make it happen, man. Just pass to the wide open man and knock the 3 down.
You guys, you hit 2 threes to close that lead back to back, and you guys coasted from there. Congrats. Thanks, man.
All right, that was Antoine Lynch, your 3-time MVP now, first-time Gold Cup champion. You know, it's debatable, and I mean, we can talk about this a little bit more, but Glenn Fair and Antoine are both, in my opinion, top 3 or 4 big men in rec. But let's talk about Antoine Lynch first. He doesn't jump more than 12 inches off the ground.
19 and a half.
but what does he do for Bigsmash?
What doesn't he do? Essentially, he can shoot the 3. Here's the thing with Lynch. If you let him get going from the perimeter, he becomes that much harder to guard because now you can put the ball on the ground and drive, and you have to respect his 3. Against the Gorillas, I think he was 5 for 7. In this game, I think he was 3 for 4. When he gets that 3 going, it's impossible to stop him. He doesn't really work very hard on defense, and they kind of went at him in the matchup. They kept trying to get Quentin Brown on him, but Quentin Brown could not make that mid-range jumper. That's kind of his, bread and butter. Kept missing that mid-range, but they got the switch that they wanted. So, and he's so active on the offensive glass. He gets his hands on everything. He's impossible to box out. He's impossible to jump over, it seems like. Nobody can really jump over him. And he, like you said, he doesn't jump very high. But it's just like he's got like this weird thing going on. And everybody just kind of clears out when he's down there.
He's a big man.
He's a big man. He's not even that, like,
he's so strong.
Like, Helmy's bigger than Twan. But Twan rebounds so much better on the offensive glass.
Twan might be the strongest player in rec.
He's a beast. Yeah.
I mean, he's absolutely a beast. So, Aaron also had an opportunity to speak with Arsenio Richardson. Here's that interview.
All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation. I'm here with Gold Cup champion Arsenio. So you've won an Open Open championship or Top Flight champion, and you've won a rec one. Which one's more important to you?
The rec one is definitely more important because every game in the rec is tough. In the Open, sometimes people don't show up. It's all one-on-one ball. Sometimes we don't have reps over there. But the rec, all the refs always show up. All the players show up. They work super hard. So this one definitely better than the Top Flight one.
That was wrong.
So you going into the game, I bet you probably knew that them was going to play a zone. What was your strategy going into that?
Well, we've been seeing the zone pretty much the whole season because we got Glenn and Antoine. So we just wanted to move the ball. In the first half we had too many turnovers. Once we shored that up and we got the lead, we just put them out of their zone, fed our big fellas, and we made some shots. Ryan made some big shots. So basically that's what it was. I mean, they kind of played into our hands by playing one-on-one, and we just got it done.
The banner's coming back to Bloomington South. After it's been in Fridley for a few seasons. Give me your thoughts on Bloomington South versus Fridley.
I mean, like I've been saying all year, Bloomington South is like the SEC in college football. I mean, it's the power conference. We got the best teams over here. In the Final Four, we had 3. We should have had all 4 teams. But, I mean, Bloomington South is the best league. Challenging some of those Brooklyn Nets or the Turtles, the Bulls. Come back out and let's see what the Fridley teams got because Bloomington right now is the best rec league in the country.
Congrats on the game, man.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Arsenio, who I think made everybody on Bigsmash so much better, especially Greg Wells. So first, talk about Arsenio Richardson's game and kind of what you see, and I'll chat a little bit about what I see as well.
In this game particularly?
Well, yeah, I mean, yes.
Well, in this game particularly, I was not happy with his performance in the first half, to be honest. A lot of lazy passes that were like not even half a second too late, like 2 seconds too late. Really bad decisions. But in the second half, he got a little bit more comfortable. He did a good job swinging the ball and moving it and then penetrating and dishing at the right times. So I think the second half was a completely different Arsenio than the first half. What he brought to your team was another. Greg Wells is a good player, but Greg Wells, you know what you're getting from Greg Wells. He does the same 2 or 3 things every time. He penetrates, and he only penetrates up the middle of the zone or up the middle of the court, and he always leaves his feet when he passes, right? He makes the passes once he's in trouble, and he dishes it off. He's always thinking basket, where Arsenio, I think, will set up his passes. So he'll dribble and penetrate, and his intention the whole way is to find the cutter and find the open guy. They're completely different offensive players and completely different point guards. So he brings that type of aspect to Bigsmash that you didn't have before. That's my take on it.
Well, and also, like, what he does is he allows Greg not to have to necessarily focus so much on offense. He can focus on defense. He squared up on Devin pretty well tonight. And, I mean, Greg is a very, very, very underrated defender in my opinion. So
I used to agree with you, but after watching tonight, Greg was atrocious defensively. When he's locked in on his man, so when, let's say Devin gets the ball, you're not getting by Greg. You're not getting by him. He'll lock you down. But if you are off the ball, Greg falls asleep almost more than anybody I've seen. I mean, he fell asleep on 3 or 4 back doors tonight because he's looking at the ball. But you are right. If his man has the ball, forget about it. They're not scoring. They might score, but they're not getting an open look. So I think there's 2 ways to look at that. I wouldn't say he's the most underrated defender. I would say that if you're talking about with the ball in your hands, yes, but not a total package.
Mike Franklin, I don't think if the article's been posted yet, but you named him a first-team All-Rec player. Talk about what he means to this squad.
This game was won by Mike Franklin tonight, and I don't think anybody would notice it unless you're really paying attention and you're kind of on the sideline watching. His effort is better than anybody else on Big Smash, and he gets his hands on a lot of rebounds, and when the ball is 50-50 and Mike Franklin's chasing it down, he always gets it. So he's always got the hustle, his motor's always going. He gets a little lost sometimes. I mean, he loses his mind a little bit, but when he's engaged, he's terrific. And the reason why I selected him is he's consistent in both leagues. He does the same thing in both leagues. I said he's a Sean Marion type player. You know, he's a guy. He'll never be your best player, but he's a lot of glue. He does a lot of the things that nobody wants to do, and you need players like that. And when you're hustling your ass off and you're scoring 13 points in both leagues and you're grabbing 7 rebounds in both leagues and doing it in a semi-efficient manner, I always give the edge to players that play in multiple leagues and do it consistently well. And I'm very impressed with Mike's season this season, personally. I'm not a huge fan of his game in the past because I think that he took a lot of bad shots before, but I think his shot selection has gotten a lot better. He picks his spots, he's improved his jump shot, and like I said, that hustle, players like that you cannot replace.
Glenn Fair, my opinion, the most underrated player in rec. Do you think he's the best player on Big Smash?
Yes, he is. The problem with Glenn is I think his effort lacks a lot. You know, the difference between Twan and Glenn, I think Glenn thinks he's too good for rec. And I think Twan is always in the mode where Twan's always thinking, I'm going to get buckets. I'm a UH killer, right? He's always engaged. Where Glenn, I think, just kind of goes through the motions. He works his ass off in open. He dominates open. When it comes to rec, I think he feels that he's too good. So for him, it's more like a pickup style. In this game, he kind of turned it up a little bit, but not as much as you'd expect from a guy of his caliber. Glenn Fair could be a top 5 player in this league, easy, if he tried. It wouldn't even be debatable, but I don't think he tries. I think that's, I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, I absolutely think he tries. And I mean, I think he's kind of the engine in a way. But then again, you could say that about so many guys on this team. But
do you think he gives the same effort that he does in open?
I haven't watched him extensively in open, so I don't know.
Okay, but so if you watch him in open, you would agree with me that he does not try in rec.
Okay, I guess. Ryan Pishi is his name. I asked him to his face. I said, "How do you pronounce your last name?" He says, Pishi. Pishi. Okay, 6-man coming off the bench. Big, strong guard. Another, I think on Big Smash, there's a lot of matchup problems. And Pishi is another one of those, a guy who can block shots extremely well, too, and rebound well, and he's got a sneaky good shot. Talk a little bit about Pishi's game.
Well, let's just talk about his calves the whole time. Those calves should be on NFL linemen. Those things are huge. Have you seen those?
Well, I've seen the calves, yes.
They're big. I mean, I'm going with Pekia until he changes the spelling of his name. Whoever picked the pronunciation and the spelling of his name, they need to be checked, because that's not how you spell it. Anyways, Big Smash don't really utilize him that much. He gets his he gets his shots when Big Smash kind of get in trouble and they leave their feet and they're like, oh, look at the white guy in the corner, let's just pass it to him, right? And then he's there to shoot the three. If they utilize him a little bit more, they'd be even more dangerous because he can put the ball on the ground, he can score, he's got athleticism, and he can shoot a bit. So if they kind of trusted him a little bit more, he'd be even better than he is now. But I like his game. You can't deny his effort, and you can't deny his ability on the court. I think he's a great player.
So that's kind of the full breakdown of the Gold Cup winning team.
Well, let's talk about. There's another guy we should talk about, Nature Boy Reid Nelson, who is the I would say is the engine of the team.
I don't
calling
know.
the shots from the sideline, getting everybody going, moving people around. He's the mastermind. He is the chess master. You have the queen, you have the rook, you have the bishop, you have the knight, and you have the pawns, and then you have the king, Reid Nelson.
I let those guys do their thing. Greg said he wants to see. Everybody thinks Big Smash is my team. Reid's Big Smash. I'm the GM. I am not the GM of Big Smash. Okay, people.
Okay, you're not.
I believe it or not, Big Smash asked me to play on their team.
You're not the GM. That's
now,
fine.
I have a couple of reasons why. I mean, I don't demand minutes. Okay.
Literally.
I fill out the roster requirements of the 7th player,
Yep.
and I don't ask for many minutes.
So 1 and 3 are the same.
Yeah.
So 3 reasons then minutes.
And Greg tells me that I balance them out on the court, so I keep them level. Sometimes I don't balance them out. See the Rebels game from earlier this year. There was no balancing there. So, believe it or not, it's not my squad. They asked me to play. I mean, we've been playing together now for almost over a year. So yeah, it's fun playing with those guys. They're great basketball players. When I heard Arsenio was coming over, Lynch was coming back, and Pishi was coming on board, and Franklin was coming back, I was like, this is going to be a pretty good team. Because remember, 2 seasons ago, Big Smash didn't even make the playoffs. 21-team playoffs. They didn't even make it out of like 26. So this team's come a long way. And after, I mean, people like Briggs and yourself kept saying, well, they need to learn how to play as a team. And they did. And you saw it the last 2 nights. When that team is clicking, it's like an absolute well-oiled machine. They're extremely difficult to beat. So
I will be honest, if Big Smash got lucky that it was them tonight, because if they would have played a team that was, I would say Big Smash had close to 20 offensive rebounds in this game. If they would have played any team tonight with any size, you guys would have been punished for the turnovers and missed shots that you guys had, and then you guys probably would have lost by 20. But I will say, during some playoff games, you guys played much better than you did tonight. Tonight was not a championship team, and they went up against a team that just like them made a great run. I think they got fortunate, but I mean that's just kind of my opinion. Quentin Brown was playing the center of the zone, and when you have Quentin Brown as your big, I guess that's not what you want to see. I think Geeson should have played a little bit more tonight. We didn't really highlight them that much in this article. I guess it's not really, or the video is not really about them, but I think they should have done things a little bit differently tonight. They could have kind of kept the momentum in their favor, and they didn't execute it. And I'm not sure what happened, what went wrong, but they'll go back to the drawing board, and I expect them to once again come back, and I hope that they can grab another big.
Big Smash's best game was last night against the club. I mean, it was clicking all night long. So let's talk. Let's look ahead. But before we look ahead, let's just recap here. This is the 7th season finale of This Week in Rec. So congratulations on 7 seasons. It's been a good ride. Halloween is coming up, and there are some expectations.
Yeah.
So 7 seasons, 7 different non-back-to-back, non-repeat champions. Turtles, Rebels, Bulls, Fob 5, Celtics, the Avengers, Big Smash. That is, to me, shows a healthy, well-balanced, really fun league. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is fun. And here's the thing. All those teams that you mentioned, they all have veterans on their team. So, and they're all that slow. I mean, they all play a slow, methodical game. So you have the teams like them and Club and who else is a up and down team? I'm trying to blank. Broncos. You have those types of teams. But when it comes down to it, if you want to win a championship, you have to have big men. You have to have big men. You can win. I've always said it. You can win games with small lineups, but you cannot win a championship with it. And it happened tonight.
And last night with the club as well.
With the club. I mean, it's not gonna happen. It's a cute little gimmicky idea, but it's not gonna happen. Club, them, you need big man. Please, I mean, the team. I mean, they gave away a championship tonight because they don't have the big man. I mean, the plea is for you to have a big man so you can improve. I'm not criticizing. I'm actually trying to help these teams. I mean, it's right. I mean,
we know you're just here to help. So, favorites going into next season?
I mean, it's the same old story for me. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the Rebels. I mean, the Bigsmash, you always give it to the defending champs. The same old story. I think Fob is coming back. Right now, it's looking at about 70%. So, I mean, I think fall usually has a really good group of guys that come and play. I think the Turtles are trying to make a comeback. I'm not sure how that's going to happen. But if Fob comes back and the Avengers kind of shift, I think they need to make some shifts in their team. And you still have the Beats, and you still have the club, maybe add a big man, and all the teams in Bloomington. I'm guessing there's going to be an 8 in a row with an 8. Different teams going to win for the 8th. I mean,
I know what you mean. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's so much fun to do these videos, but the only reason it's fun is because people are watching them. If nobody watched them, I wouldn't definitely not do them. I wouldn't be up till 2:30 tonight splicing this video and doing it. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks. October 5th, the week of October 5th, Minnesota Rec Basketball will be back. Thank you, sir.
No, this is good. No, we're really good this year. Good job, guys. Yes, none of this makes sense, by the way.
Right.
Right, exactly. You say right.
We're going
we're going to continue.
Players Club, though.
We're going to continue. None of it makes sense. Bruce says right, but we're going to continue. Let's move on. It doesn't make